Whoa! Whoa, I didn't see you there. How you doing? It's been a while since I saw you. Beautiful, isn't it? Well, what are you doing here? Oh, well, okay, let's take a walk then. Come on. Come on, follow me. Let's go take a seat over here. Watch out for these branches. Nice cozy seats right here. In today's world, it's extremely hard to find time to enjoy nature. You know, to sit down in your backyard or find a nice park. It's really hard between work and school and other obligations. I feel personally that I don't have enough time to, and a lot of people feel this, especially poor people, people that have to survive from day to day, have to work all their lives, especially in poverty. And this can create a lot of eco grief. You know, a lot of people feel bad. They don't have time to interact with their surroundings, to engage in nature, and to feel the calmness that comes from hearing the rivers or sitting and looking at the trees. And I feel like that is why a lot of places like this space are needed. This is Black Diamond Orchard, a place that I work and help at, where we grow crops on a public scale, and also we have private little plots for people. I've talked to a lot of people here and they've expressed their eco grief to me, how they feel trapped in the daily cycle of working and driving and working and just constantly having to survive day to day. And places like this are meant to combat that. And this place is special because it's in an urban area. We're actually right near downtown. And this is a place where people can find nature in such an urban setting. Boo! Did I scare you? Sorry about that. Let's continue. So the effects of eco grief and the effects of not having enough natural space is pretty evident in individuals on the local scale. Of course, local communities such as downtown Greensboro. Greensboro is one of the better ones, but a lot of places like Detroit, a lot of these very heavily urbanized local areas, they may, see some community effects. Some people might be sad, some people might try to create Kickstarters, which is really nice, to create little areas where they can farm and have a little bit of nature in their lives. But on a global scale, there are a lot bigger effects. According to the World Research Institute, there's a positive correlation between tree cover and income, meaning that in places with low income, there are less tree cover and vice versa. And a lot of tree cover is absent in urban areas. A lot of people with low income, a lot of poor people are in urban areas. There are a lot more global effects today, especially in coronavirus. People are feeling a lot higher levels of depression, anxiety, and just overall sadness, especially with all the new reports that our world is dying. Governments are taking enough action today, and that is why the need for individual, local, and global appreciation of nature is critical. Take it from my friend over here. We need the nature. It provides for us, and we need it. He's smart. Listen to him. But how can making new gardens such as this one create a difference? How can it create a difference in the communities and potential clients in the future? Well, there's a lot of support and studies that show that even spending an hour a week being with nature can have a great effect, especially on your spiritual, your physical, and your mental. Your mental is the most important, especially with what I said earlier about COVID. People need to get outside and they need to experience what's around them. Well, it's getting a little dark here, as you can see. Come back tomorrow, okay? I'll see you then. Oh, hey, there you are. It's nice to see you again. I'm glad you came back. So what were we talking about? Oh, right, we were talking about garden centers, and specifically how poverty in urban areas can cause a big disconnect with the environment. A connection with the environment gives us a lot of things like calmness, peace of mind. So what are people doing to correct this problem? Well, some people actually propose that we cut back on work weeks, try to make the individual find more time. And these solutions may, work theoretically. In the real world, it's a lot harder than just making time, because when you make time, you got to take time away from other things, such as getting money to pay bills. So another thing people are doing is right around me, the community garden centers. People are building gardens in urban centers. Right now I'm right near Westerwood. This is where the plot is. And they're building these sort of areas and they're inviting people from the community. Here we have a great program where all these plots behind me, all of these, they are actually owned by members of the community. And they do pay for it, but it's only a small fee for water. So it's just we're trying to cover our bases here. And this community center has actually done a lot for the community. I've come to meet a lot of people here that are very interesting, young and old. And it's really nice to talk with people and to interact with them. So what do I plan on doing? Well, I have a really good foundation here at the Garden Center. What I can do is invite members from my community, my family, my friends, my relatives, all here, maybe to this garden. And what I can do is I can just at least get them interested, show them around, maybe buy them a plot, get them some crops, just start an interest in gardening. And sure, a lot of people can't make the journey out here away from their home, but that's the thing, is that they don't have to. Even getting introduced to a garden and getting introduced to the nature, people will be inspired to take it home, get house plants, maybe get some on their balcony, etc. And this renewed interest, especially in this local community around me, would do wonders for getting people, outside in nature. And of course there are some things you have to think about with COVID-19. But when it comes to COVID, outdoor gardens like this are actually one of the better ways to experience nature while interacting with others, because the plots are separated. People have space that's outdoors. Nature, the CDC says that that masks aren't especially as important outside as they are in. So this sort of outside area is great because you can be 6 feet away from people or however comfortable you are and still talk to them, and you can still garden with people, and you can still learn about it. And so this is more of the local aspect, but what about the global aspect? Well, personally, I can't do much about the global aspect, but I know that people all around the world, especially all around the country, in a lot of urban centers like Detroit, they are finding ways to get out in nature, create community gardens for food at the start, but gardening has a lot of other benefits. It's been proven that it can reduce stress, inspire a sense of calmness, and also just make people happy. And that's all that really matters in the end. It may not seem much, but right here is a plot that me and my girlfriend made. We grew some squashes, some winter vegetables. They didn't work out too well, we did it too early. But regardless, it was really nice because it started an interest in gardening for me and my girlfriend. So I've already tried starting to implement that by reaching out to my girlfriend. I'm actually really happy because we've started to grow some plants together outside of the orchard. But this is where it all began, right here. It's barren now, but there you go. So the question arises, do these solutions match why the problem exists in the first place? You have to think, will going out and enjoying nature fix poverty or fix sadness as a whole? Of course not, but it's a really important step to making people more connected to nature, thus calmer and in a better state of mind. People, especially in urban centers, poor people, they feel like it's a cycle. They feel like it's an unbreakable cycle. Their parents were poor, now they're poor, they struggle through life. And a lot of people just feel this big sense of hopelessness. Enjoying nature and connecting with the inner self, it's more of a spiritual thing for some people. But really enjoying nature can really go a long way to helping depression and anxiety. Of course, it won't fix them, but it'll be a good way to relax, to enjoy one's time with something besides a phone. And this sort of connection, it really gets at the root of a lot of these issues. A lot of issues with anxiety and the sort of feel of how the world is, especially with COVID, is this sense of isolation, of being alone, not being helped. And so if individuals, and even government, especially government, local government, global governments, if they put an emphasis on going outdoors, actually right around this area they are building the Greenway. And so this is a good step, and that's really good to note, is that the government should do a better job at promoting the outdoors, either it be through bicycles like in the Greenway, or just promoting national parks and stuff like that. But it's more important nowadays than it's ever been to be connected. In such a world we're so isolated. these problems, they need to have a solution that gets at the root of isolation, and this is where nature comes in. Because it's not necessarily, being alone in nature, but it's going out and enjoying it with people, enjoying it with your community, enjoying it with friends and family. So what can others do? Well, to you, the viewer, I ask one simple thing, and that's to just try to go outside more. If you see someone at the park, one of your friends, go and join them. It's really nice to just get to know your community. Say hi to someone on the street, say hi to someone in the park, say hi to your neighbors. It's important to build a sense of community, especially centered around the environment. And it's really nice if you're in an urban center, if you're in a big apartment complex, perhaps downtown or around the area of Greensboro, to just try to take a walk every so often. People, the only way that we'll try to get this on a global scale is to act, is to get a lot of people to do it. I've tried with my friends and family, and now it's your turn. Thank you.